हाँ ऑडिबल हो।
या
अभी वेट करते हैं, अभी तो वो आई सौम्या अभी नहीं आई, अभी तो पार्टिसिपेंट भी आती हैं। सौम्या को प्रमोट करो, उधर है वो आयुष।
विश्वास हेलो
हाँ सौम्या को प्रमोट करो, उधर ज्वाइन किया हुआ है उसने।
करता हूँ सर। Well, a very good evening to all of you present here. We once again at MIT welcome you all in the Alumni chapter, that is 14th. And today our speaker is Saumya Sinha, who will be telling us about the effects of global pandemic from job perspective. Now I would like to request Mr. Naveen Kaushik to give the highlights about the speaker and welcome.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you Ayush.
Thank you, sir.
In this series of Alumni Connect MIT, today we have one more talented students of MIT, passed out in 2016 batch from Computer Science and Engineering branch. And on behalf of MIT, I welcome all the attendees and I extend my hearty welcome to our today's speaker, Ms. Saumya Sinha. As if I am not wrong, she was campus placed in TCS. Make me correct if I am wrong, Saumya.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you
Good
for the
evening.
welcome. Yes, sir. I got campus placed in Wipro.
Wipro, okay. Sorry.
Yes.
And now she is working with Accenture as an analyst. She has chosen today's topic, envisioning job prospects and the effect of global pandemic.
Yes, sir.
From last 8 to 9 months, we are continuously hearing this pandemic, COVID pandemic. Before this pandemic, I never listened this word pandemic. And this, honestly, this is a new word for me. Not wasting the time, so I hand over the session to Soumya. Please continue, Soumya.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great opportunity. And good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking your time out on a Sunday evening. But I would make sure that this webinar would be useful, especially for the students who would be looking out for jobs after a few months. I'm expecting that we would have this webinar shared with our final year students and pre-final students as well. So without wasting much time, let me share my presentation with you all.
All are requested to please mute yourself.
Sir, I think that we should start after 5 minutes. The participants are still in the joining process.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Saumya, you can share your industry experience that what things are required for the young generation to be placed in a good company, how they can maintain their position in the company, various perspectives that can benefit the alumnus as well as the young generation.
Ayush, can you mute
Sure,
everyone from
sir.
your end?
It's already muted, sir.
Can you mute everyone from your end? Is what possible?
Just a second, sir.
Because
Now it's okay. Hello, hello, Naveen sir.
some noise is coming from, I don't know from where it is coming. Yes,
It's okay.
now
Yeah,
it's okay.
no,
It's
okay.
okay now. Oh.
So you can discuss if you want some perspective which can benefit the young generation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Soumya.
Surely I will discuss it during my presentation as well,
ये
because
presentation
this
only.
is what I have chosen as the topic. I will not bore everyone with some technical topic. There are multiple ways to learn these things, but there are few things that nobody shares, and it only comes with some experience. And from where I am today, I feel like if someone would have shared these things with me, my growth have been much better than it has been now. So that's why I've chosen this topic, and that's why I want to share these experience and some tips or tricks with everyone. So these things can be very useful when you go and look for a job for a good employer. So there are multiple things that you should take into account, and I will discuss it during my presentation as well. So let's just wait for a few more minutes and let's see if people are joining in. So, shall we begin, or we are expecting more people to join in?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So for the topic for the today's webinar would be envisioning job prospect and the effect of global pandemic, and the major things that I would be discussing during this presentation would be the high available elite job in the IT industry that are currently trending, and these are one of the highest paid jobs as well that you can get your hands on. Also, these are some sustainable jobs, currently I am a SQL Server database administrator in Accenture, but going forward, we are getting new technologies, and there are some legacy softwares which would not be in use in some years. So I have slowly and gradually moved to cloud within Accenture, and I will be discussing more of such job which would last for a few years now. But if you are entering the IT industry, please make sure that you would continuously keep yourself updated with new technologies. The technologies are lasting for a very short period of time. Every 6 months or so you will get something new, and no matter what, you would have to learn those things. So be prepared for that, because that is the whole job scenario currently, and it doesn't only apply for the IT jobs, only it apply to any job you will go, unless you are going for some government job. But if you are working in the private sector, you will constantly need to keep your knowledge updated, and that's what make you grow. So first of all, I would like to introduce you and tell you what are these top 10 jobs you should currently focus on, because these are the jobs that are high in demand, but the people applying for it are very few. So if you are going to aim for these jobs, there is a high possibility that you would end up and bag a good job offer, then going after the normal jobs which we have been targeting for last 10 years. So these include AI specialist that work for artificial intelligence, data scientist, robotics engineer, data analyst, full stack engineer, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, big data engineer, information security manager, software engineer, and cybersecurity specialist. So these are the top 10 highest paid as well as the good jobs that are there in the market right now, because as you all know, the job jobs have been devastatingly affected during this COVID situation, but there is a good side to it as well for the students. For not for the working professional, there is a high number of people that have been got laid off during this pandemic era. And but the good thing for you guys is that you are still in the learning phase. It would be easy for you to learn a technology than for me, who's been working for last 4 years on some certain technology. Secondly, you guys would be what how can I interpret this, that the current individuals who are already working, they expect a certain level of their salary, but as you guys are fresher, you would be given less salary as compared to those who have been 5 years of experience right now. So it is a good thing, and companies are aiming for people like you who have knowledge of this technology. Obviously, you would not have hands-on experience, and believe me, even the 80% of the people who apply to these 10 jobs which I have just stated, they do not have much hands-on experience on these technologies, but what they do is they work on some project on their own. They go and learn things online through various educational platform there exist now. So that's how they switch to these technology. So don't be scared that you don't have, these are such big words, how would you apply for such job. Don't be scared of that, because people do not have hands-on experience, but what you should aim at is to gain a good knowledge and perspective what these jobs are they in line with what you expect yourself to be working on. Like if you are if the security domain, if the cryptography interest you, cybersecurity, being a cybersecurity specialist is a great option for you. If the whole SDLC cycles interest you, like how the product is the requirements are gathered, how that product is built, how it is tested, what are the scope of automation in that. Being a DevOps engineer is a good choice for you. If the artificial intelligence, machine learning interest you, there are jobs for them as well. So first of all, lay down a list of what your interests are, because if you would force yourself just to get a job in some technology that is trending but it does not interest you at all, it will wear off with time, because the jobs right now have a lot of pressure than you expect as a fresher, and company have lesser time to train you guys in certain technology, and they expect you to give even more of what was expected from us at the time, like 4 years back when we got placed in some country, in some company was willing to invest their time with us, but everyone has been hit by this COVID pandemic, and companies are also generating lesser profit than they usually were. So they would want you to show your interest as well. So that is the first and foremost importance to you, to lay out what things interest you, and in which technology you can see yourself to be growing, right? So moving on, these are the jobs that you should look out for, and don't completely rely on the placement you get on campus. Yes, it is an easier option to get campus placed, but even if you do get campus placed, don't stop yourself there. Go and look out for jobs of fresher over LinkedIn, over
Excuse me,
Naukri.com. There,
Soumya. Excuse me, Soumya. Someone wants to see the go through the first slide from 1 to 5.
sure, sure.
Thank you.
So these are the first five jobs that were there in the market. So what I was saying, that don't completely rely on campus placement. I could not say what would be company's response during this time to hire fresher, but even if you bag a good offer, even from TCS, from Wipro, from any elite company you could name, do not stop there. Go look out for jobs, and there are multiple ways for freshers to look out job. Go and give your AMCAT exams. Go and give e-litmus. You get really good companies from e-litmus. That was how I got placed in Accenture. I got campus placed in Wipro, but my joining got delayed, and I did not wait for another uh, joining date from Wipro. So I start looking out for a job. At that time, we also got another problem, and that was the demonetization. So mostly companies freeze their hiring completely. So many of my interviews which were scheduled just got cancelled because of the demonetization and because of no fault of my own. So this is a similar situation right now. But the good thing is that companies are hiring right now, but it would take some work from you to do for bagging some good offers. So I was saying that go give your e-litmus test and give these exams seriously. If you will make some effort, these are not exams which would require enormous amount of preparation into them. You just need to be smart. Even if you give a e-litmus exam or MCAT exam, you just need a good percentile. So focus on that. Go on the internet and research about these exams. Give them. If not, go to Naukri and LinkedIn and apply jobs for fresher. It would help you get some more offer. Even if you have one in your hand, don't completely rely on it. Bag as much as you can. So moving forward, uh, I would like to share some of the technologies that you should learn, no matter in which field you want to go in and make your career. I would suggest that these are some technologies. Don't be an expert of these. but at least take an overview, be aware what all these things are. And the first thing that is trending in market and everyone is talking about it, even if me, I'm not directly working on a project that is related to artificial intelligence or machine learning, but there are times in my job that I am asked about these things, because that is the ultimate future of things that are going right now. You would move to cloud, you would move to artificial intelligence and machine learning, and every company, every client you would work for, they are looking for ways to move there. So having a basic understanding of what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning is, and I hope that these things are included in your curriculum as well. So it is a great opportunity for you all, because you would be in touch with these subjects as your subjects. So having an overview of these, how things work, make yourself interested to learn these things. Don't be, if you are not being an expert of these, at least try to know what are the things that are important in these technologies. Secondly is the cyber security. Because of the pandemic, there has been an increase in the web attacks that we got. The security system in every company has been tightened up during this pandemic uh, time. So the cyber security is definitely an issue for each and every company you would go in. So try to keep yourself updated, like how people are attacking it, what are the ways that you could keep yourself safe, because these things will come handy once you would start working for some company. If you don't do it now, you would be forced to do and learn these things once you join some company, because everyone is focusing on this. A cyber attack could result in a much bigger loss than anything else right now. So make yourself aware what are the good practices you should be taking care of while working, and how could you prevent a cyber attack, how could you detect a cyber attack. Make yourself aware of these. Thirdly is cloud computing. Having a good knowledge of any cloud platform, I would say any, be it Azure, be it AWS, be it Google Cloud, GCP, go out and research a bit on these. Having a basic knowledge of any cloud platform would help you a lot. And mostly the companies you would get placed in, they would want you to work on a project that is already on cloud, or they would be moving to cloud. So no matter where you go in the IT industry, you would experience this thing. Either companies are switching to cloud or they are already on the cloud. So you should have basic knowledge. Go and create an account on Azure. I think it's free for a month and it gives you 13,000 rupees of credit worth using. And create your machines there. Try to learn things, experiment, go and experiment. They give you 13,000 rupees just for free sign up for you to experiment those things. If you generate an interest in that, go look out for more option. AWS is also free if you are not turning up the machine. So log on to these portals. These are not paid. It's free knowledge that is available on the internet right now. So go and make use these platforms and make yourself aware how things work. At least what you should do is go and log into Azure and AWS and make yourself aware of the portal, how they look like, what are the various features that you would see there. As a fresher, company don't expect you to be, a big expert on anything, but they would like for you to be aware of certain things. And these are those things which I'm discussing right now. Fourth one is data analytics and data science. So you would hear people talking about data analytics and data science. Data is right now available in abundance to any organization, but how you make use of it, data, raw data is not information, as you all must have studied. So how you convert that raw data into an information, that's what these things are. So learn about them, at least learn some basic about them. Next is blockchain. So these are few technologies that are budding from blockchain and DevOps. It is not a must-have technology that you should learn, but these are specifically if you are looking for a career in these things, what blockchain is, what DevOps is, what are the various stages that a DevOps engineer could go into. Also, DevOps is a vast variety of jobs. DevOps itself, being a DevOps engineer, there are multiple, specialization into DevOps as well. You could be a DevOps developer, you can be a DevOps into testing or in automation. So there are multiple things. Go and make yourself aware of these. The more you will research, the more you'll know what are the different technologies available which are trending. The more you would be able to judge yourself that whether it's good for you, will it interest you, what is the right technology for you to go and make a path and career out of it. Then moving forward, these are some basic things. I hope that all your faculties have been focusing on these things that you should learn, and you would not understand it now, but when you start working, you understand the importance of these things, and why you were forced to learn these things during the 4 years of your curriculum. But yes, there are some things that are really useful and you should focus on if you are not already focusing on these. Data structure and algorithm is the what I should say, that most of the question that you would be asked in any interview would be based on data structures and the algorithms that you are reading right now, and must be thinking that whether these would be useful to you or not. But believe me, they are going to be useful in the future when you will look out for job, not only as a fresher, even when you are experienced and you have lost touch of these things. Like right now in college, you could name 10 algorithms, but after 5 years of working, you may not remember them. But these things stay, useful as long as you have a career in IT. So pay focus to these and learn them if you are not currently, like even when the campus placement, any company for campus placement come, they ask few subjects that interest you, and they try to keep their question to those area of interest, those subject of interest that you mentioned them. But no matter what subject you would tell them, I can guarantee you would get some questions from data structures and the various algorithms. So make sure that you have a good knowledge of them. Secondly is a programming language, be it C, C++, no matter how old they are, whether people are using it or not, go and make yourself an expert on this. Whether it's C, C++, or it's Java, it's ASP.NET, any programming language you would pick, it's your choice. If you learn one, learning other is easier for you. That's why we always start from C and move on and learn other languages. But make sure that you have a command on any of the one programming languages. The bagging a job offer is would become much easier if you have this. It could be any language. I would not suggest that you go after any particular one. It could be any language, C, C++, Java, ASP.NET, but make sure you are an expert at your level. Learn whatever you can about any one of the language. It's your choice completely. And the same goes for a scripting language, be it Python, be it shell scripting, anything. You might think that there are certain technologies that are out of date now and people are not using it, but that is where all the basics come from. If you would want that you go on and learn a trending technology right away, no, you cannot do that. You would have to have a basic of these things to learn anything that is trending. Even if you want to make a career in AI or in ML, I would suggest that having a good mathematics knowledge or statistics knowledge would benefit you a lot, because believe me, 50% is technology and 50% is maths in those domains. So yeah, these are the things that are important. So fourth one is having the good knowledge of any database, be it SQL Server, be it Oracle, or even now there are no SQL technologies like MongoDB. So go out and learn about them, and there are few certifications for especially for the database side. I'm telling you, they are not very expensive, but if you go and learn them and even complete the basic certification from Microsoft or Oracle, it would be very helpful for you. At least the person who would be hiring you know that you are aware of the technical skills that are required for any job in the IT industry. Last thing is operating system architecture basis. Go and study what is the architecture of any operating system, be it Mac or Linux based or Windows. You should go and learn what is the architecture, and that architectural part is important for anything you learn. I think that's where you should start with. Learn how these things are formed, how your operating system work. Even if it's a SQL server, there is an architecture to everything, how these things work. Even for a compiler for any programming language, there is an architecture to it. So make it a practice that you go and learn the architecture of anything you are using. But most specifically, I would suggest that learning the architecture of operating system would be a good to have knowledge, and it would interest many employers in you if you have this knowledge. Going forward, some more technical skills that are required, and no matter what domain you are going in, people would expect some knowledge on these topics as well. So going forward, we have networking basics. I think pre-final years student would be studying computer networks, and that is a subject that does not interest many. But you should know the basics. You should know how some of the uh, things work out. You should know how IP is given. Majorly the questions you will get is around the IPs that are assigned to your system, or when you are working on a machine, how do you assign it? There are ways to determine that, right? So go and learn them. Seventh thing is the software development life cycle. So DevOps, as I mentioned earlier, is also a part of that. So there are many models which have failed, like the waterfall. Earlier, it was the waterfall model that was followed, and then we moved to agile. Now it's DevOps. So learn what these technologies are. Why waterfall model stopped working after a while. Why we moved to agile, and even if now agile has stopped working, people are moving to DevOps. So what are the reason? What are these SDLCs? Why they failed over a time? Because there would come a time that even DevOps would fail, and the people would move on to something new. It would get invented, because technologies, they wear out after a time. So go and learn these things. Why these things stopped working? What is the new technology? Why it is more efficient? Why people are using it? So get yourself answered for these things, because this is what you will get in an interview, right? Eighth thing is Microsoft Excel. You would not be being asked question about this during your hiring process, but it is I would say must have technical skill. And you would have ample time to experiment and learn various feature of Excel. What you know as of now must be that it's just a spreadsheet, and if you need to make tables, you go and use Excel. But there are multiple feature in Excel as well, and no matter what role you would go into, you would have to deliver and project some numbers or maybe tables. even in presentation you make these tables and draw data from various sources, and Excel is no matter on what level you are, you would have to use it, and it would require you a lot of time, to dedicate to it. So it's better that now that you have ample time to learn things, you should experiment and learn Excel and some of its features, like how you make macros and all. Go and learn these things. They would be very useful once you start working, not in the hiring process. Then the next thing is the basic commands of Unix or Linux based OS. You must have labs for this as well, but don't let it end on a lab, and don't let yourself stop learning these things when a semester gets over and that subject is over. So don't stop there, and make a note, learn very basic commands what are there and used in some Linux system. Even if you are working on Windows, much of you must not be using any Linux based operating system, but even if you are using Windows, there are, try to use CMD mode to do your work, to launch your applications. you know Go and learn those shortcuts. Don't just depend on GUI majorly. It would be very beneficial to have this kind of knowledge. And as I told you earlier, a basic knowledge of any cloud platform is something you should have in the current scenario, because people will ask you question about what is Azure or GCP or AWS. So whatever is there currently, AWS is the one that is high in demand in the market, but Azure is there as well. It is dominant in the market as well. People are using it. People are moving to AWS because it is more secure and all. But having a good knowledge of any cloud platform, I would say that again, is good for you to have. So I think I missed one. Yeah. So how do you target these jobs? We have talked a lot that what skills you should have, what job you should focus on, but how do you get these jobs? That I will discuss in these two slides. First, and the most important thing that I would suggest you to take time and dedicate a week's time to create your resume. Create a resume, a video resume, and as well as a cover letter. Cover letter is nothing but it's a description why a company should hire you over the other applicants. So it might look easy, and you might go on the internet and download some template and make adjustment to it and make it your resume. I would suggest that you do not do that. Even if you are downloading a template, don't just copy paste everything. Invest some time into it, because it is the one thing that whenever you go and apply for a job, you just share that 1 or 2 page of your resume. So that is the thing that would decide whether an employer should be interested in you or not. So what I would suggest is go and list all your achievements. Go and list some of your requirement as well, what you would be looking in a job, and amalgamate that into your resume. Creating a video resume, on the other hand, maybe you would not need to apply, but some good organization, when you apply for the job, some good organization want you to upload a video resume, and it is just to portray your communication skill, how confident you are when you are talking on a camera. So don't wait for that opportunity that when you apply to some job and they would want you to upload a video resume, then only you should create one. Keep these things handy. Make a template of a cover letter also. What is in it you, that an employer won't get in someone else. Take time to identify some of your qualities and portray them. It is the one thing that would sell you out to the employer. So invest some time in it, create a good resume. For fresher level, I would suggest that it should be at least 1.5 page or 2 pages long, and they should, portray all your educational profile and what all have been your achievements so far. Please focus on that because that interest employer in you. Also, if you have done any sort of certification during college, any sort of training, don't be afraid to put it on your resume. It makes a good impression for you. Secondly is start networking, start connecting with your seniors over the LinkedIn. I am sure there would be many to help you. So go on like LinkedIn and start networking. There would be groups, for any job you would be targeting. Join those groups as well. Look out for people, even if they are not your alumni, if they belong to any of the college, go and connect with them. LinkedIn is very helpful, and you are in your early stage of your career, so make it a practice, because going forward you would have to connect to people even if you don't want to. This is the only way to go forward, right? So go out on LinkedIn and make it your Facebook. Like whatever time you spend on Facebook, make sure you are spending that on LinkedIn. That would be much beneficial. You would be aware what is the current scenario is and what are the jobs that are trending there. You would get a very good knowledge from LinkedIn. Thirdly is, don't be scared to aim big when you are targeting a job. There, like I remember the time when I was applying for a job, so we used to be really scared, and mostly people think like that if you don't get campus placed, you would not get a good job in life. It really shatters your confidence. So don't be afraid to aim bigger. Yes, it is a good thing, and getting campus placed is an easier way. But if even if you're not getting that offer, even if the companies are not coming this year to your campus, don't be afraid to go out and look out for job. And don't think just because you're fresher, a bigger organization won't take you and they would only go for IITians or people from a bigger college than you already are. It's a completely myth. If you satisfy any company's criteria, go and apply for it, no matter how big that company is. Don't constrain yourself into some smaller organization. Go and aim bigger and target those jobs, apply for it. The worst thing that would happen is that you would be denied an offer, you would not get placed, right? So don't be afraid of that. Go and apply to those jobs. Fourth thing that I would really suggest you all to, that never sit idle. And what I mean from this is, go and aim for a good certification. I would suggest one certification a year is good on a fresher level. Going forward, increase that to two certification a year, even if you start working. Mostly company would ask you to complete those certification and upload it. But even if they are not, aim for a good certification at least once a year. And apart from that, if you have free time, do not sit idle and waste your time over social media. Go and learn courses on Udemy. I have noticed that Udemy or Edureka, there are many such applications. You must know more of those than I know. But there are some courses which are really cheap, 50 rupees or 100 rupees or 300 rupees. That's not a big amount to invest in. But go there and learn things, even if it's not technical. Go take some communication skills, some build up your vocabulary, or be it anything, but make sure that you are learning something that would be useful going forward. Do not sit idle and waste your time at any point of time. If you have enough time, make a project of your own. you know any programming language, give yourself a project and work on it. Everything doesn't need to be fruitful. You should not be doing these things only to get marks, only to complete an assignment. If you have time, do this. Create a project of your own. So this would enhance your technical skills. And what these things majorly help is to create a analytical thinking. You start your perspective really changes when you do these things. Last is that apply in startups for jobs that are of similar interest. Like if the company that is coming to your campus is not offering you a job in AI or ML or DevOps, go and you know what, you would also try to gain the knowledge what are the questions that would be asked in these jobs. So the best way to prepare for yourself for any job is to apply in startups. Those jobs, if you get, it's good. If you don't get, you get rejected, you can apply 6 months later. And but what you would gain is a good knowledge what are the questions that are asked. Startup ask the most difficult questions, so that gives you a broad spectrum of what you should expect in an interview. Even if you are in the pre-final year, create a resume, say that you have been completed your BTech, and go and experience interview process. It would create a lot of confidence in you how to face that. So when you apply for your dream company, or for when you sit in the final placement, you would know what to expect from an interview, how things go, what is the whole process. So even if you are not looking for some particular job, go and make yourself aware what the interview process is like. So apply, go and apply in startups, because if you get rejected there is no risk. But if you get rejected in a bigger organization, in few companies there is a policy that you might not be able to apply for a year or 6 months. So don't risk those companies. Go and apply in startups instead. Next thing I would suggest is to go on LinkedIn and, as I mentioned, join educational groups there. The time you're spending right now on Facebook, you would regret it, believe me. So I won't say that cut yourself off with social media. It's important. It's important to give yourself entertain as well, and to spend some time there as well. But do not just waste all of your time there. Spend some time in learning things, in educating yourself. And it doesn't necessarily has to be a lecture to attend or a certification to complete. Scrolling on LinkedIn would give you a good knowledge about things. So join some good groups, educational groups there. It would really help you. Seventh thing is, and it is, it is the, I should have mentioned it as the first point there, because it is even more important than your technical skills would ever be. You could be an expert of something, but sometimes your communication skills doesn't let you land up on a job that you wish to have. So having good communication skill, oral as well as written, is so very important these days. And I cannot stress enough on this. But these are very important. I have seen number of people, more than 100 of them, that they were so good in the domain they were working in. They had such a good command on the technologies they were learning in, but their communication skill let them completely down. And they are not working in that company in for which they are really capable of, just because of their communication skills. So communication skills matter a lot. And they may just make your technical skills go to a waste if you do not have them. So keep your vocabulary updated. Make sure you have you know the mail writing etiquettes. You know how to communicate well. Communicate with your friends, or even go and look out for courses that could enhance your grammar and grammatical writing, whatever it is. Go and stress on your communication skills, so from an earlier stage, so it doesn't pressurize you when it's time to sit in a interview, and it doesn't let you down at that time. Next thing is keep yourself updated with all the tech news. Subscribe to any. There are number of news applications that are available for free on App Store. So go and download it. Even if you are not reading the whole article, at least keep the notification on that application, and it would keep you bothering with the latest news that is there in the market. And especially with the tech news, keep yourself updated with the news that are trending right now. I would suggest that you should, keep yourself updated with all the news. But even if that really bores you, keeping up, your news updated, please make yourself, at least take out a day in a week that you go on to any news application or channel and read whatever happened in this week. This is really helpful, and in the especially in the HR rounds, you get questions about them as well. And in GDs, these are utterly important. They, if you are updated about the news and the things that are going around, GDs would be so easy for you to crack in any situation. Ninth point is be really bold and don't be afraid to experiment. There would be few technologies and few jobs that you think you should require a lot of knowledge and a lot of years. If you want a job like that, don't keep yourself constrained. Even when you join some organization, there are criteria, that you would not get promoted before 18 months or 20 months or any such time. But what nobody tells you is that these are the constraints so that not a huge number of people come forward. But uh, because everyone is like that, when you are in the initial years of your working career, you are really afraid and you take your time to learn how things work in a corporate environment. And people are aware of it that you are scared, you are not aware of many things. So they sometimes they exploit you, sometimes they make use of it. Sometimes you get really good colleagues that would really help you to outshine everyone else. But what I would suggest is the competition right now in any industry is really cutthroat. So be bold, be confident no matter where you go, and don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment on new technology. If there is a list of things that every company would want you to complete in your first year or 2 years of your job, do that and set some goal for yourself as well and experiment them and learn them. Next is try to learn, and this is completely optional, but people, I've seen that people who knows a foreign language, mainly French, German or Mandarin, they get paid a lot than anyone else. So if learning these language interest you, don't make it as a burden on yourself that you have to learn this, and if you don't know these languages, your job would be impacted. No, but yes, if you have an interest on learning different language, aim for these three language, and at least one of these three. And there are many jobs that requires you to know a foreign language, and they really give you a handsome pay if you know any of the foreign language. So it's just an optional thing, but yes, sometimes this can also land you in a good job. Moving forward, and I think this is the last slide of my presentation. So how do you manage your time to manage all these things? When I was in your age, and when I was a fresher, if someone would have loaded me with this much of knowledge, I would have been scared that I only have 24 hours in a day, and how do I manage to think to get so many things done, right? So it looks like you need a lot of time if you want to learn so many things. But once you start managing your time, correctly, and if you are regular with learning things, if you take time out, like I told you that keep yourself updated with the news, it would only require you to have an hour in a week to do that. But if you skip 2 3 4 weeks, and in the end of the month you are sitting there and you want to make yourself updated of all the news, it would really bore you to study news for 3 and 4 hours what happened in this month. So that's what happens if you do it regularly, and being regular and consistent is all you need, and it is the key to success. Like, if you want to be an average employee, if you want to have an average job with an average salary, yes, you can skip these things. But if you want to be known, if you want to stand out from the crowd, these are the tips for you. And you want to stand out from the crowd, if you want to grow faster than your peers, then these are the things. Then constantly enhancing your knowledge and learning how you manage your time is really important. So the first thing is, like I told you, to create a good resume. You should make notes of all your achievement. But even if you have a good resume in your hand, make take some time out in 10 to 15 days or in a month, and make a note of all your achievement. So what I would suggest is make 2 sections, make all notes of all your achievement, be it personal, be it educational, be it professional, whatever it is. I would suggest that make all note of all your achievement. It really motivates you, even if it's small, even if it's achievement for you but not for your parents or not for your faculty. But if you have a sense of achievement after doing something, make a note of it. It would really motivate you to work harder in life. So do this regularly. It is for your motivation to keep working regularly and consistently. Secondly, not every one of you might be aiming for a job right now. Some of you want to go out and pursue higher education, be it MTech or MBA or MS. I would suggest that there are professionals and there are consultancies that are working for this. So go to them. It might, you need to invest some money in that, but it is really a good option to go out and seek help from those consultancies who are aware of it. You might be, only aiming for MTech, but there might be some uh, MS degree in some other country that would be more helpful than getting MTech from some normal college. If it's not an IIT, like for MTech, it's not an IIM or top 10 B school for MBA. I think you're just wasting your time, because the competition is so tough right now, and you would be paying a lot of fees, and most of you would be taking loan to complete that education, and to end up a job that could at least your first priority would become to repay your loan. So you should get a job that pays you enough that you repay your loan and to make a living out of your salary. So be aware of these things and seek professional help. There might be, MS degree which are cheaper and that could bag you a better job than MTech from any other college would do. So go and seek some professional help based on your educational profile, how much you scored in your 10th or in your 12th in your BTech. They would give you a better and educated option for you to pursue in your future. Third thing that I would like to discuss with you is that the situation right now is so complicated, and even though my job was not affected during pandemic, I am always thinking, I'm always on the verge that I might lose my job today. I might lose, after a month, there might come another phase of this pandemic. And some my client is aviation, and aviation has been badly hit by the pandemic. And I've seen many of my colleagues getting laid off because of that pandemic. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't like that they were not performing, but there were better people than them, so they got laid off. So there is a constant pressure on you. So it is very important that if you have any interest apart from all your educational interest, and even if there is any subject or there is any topic that interests you a lot, and you might not be working on it, you might not get a job, directly into an AI engineer or DevOps engineer. You might get some other job, but to keep your interest alive, what I would suggest is to start writing a blog, to make a LinkedIn page or an Instagram page or an YouTube channel, and it applies to any talent you're having. If you are like good at cooking, start a page, start a channel, start making videos of it. Take an hour in 2 3 days or whatever it is, even in a week. You might not get many followers initially, but be consistent there. It's not for the sake of earning money, but to keep your interest alive. Also, if God forbid this happens, but if there is at any time of time there is a danger to your job, you always have an option B with these things. So I would suggest that start these things now. If you think you have any passion or any interest, be it cooking, be it photography, be it any educational, knowledge that you want to share with people. So don't be scared that, I have this knowledge in my college and there might not be people who need this knowledge. Don't think anything else. Let the world be judgmental. But if you are good at something, you think, don't let the society tell you what you are good at. But if you think you have something in you that you are really passionate about and you want to do this, start any of these things. It would keep your interest alive, and at some time it would act as a motivation to keep you going forward. And if it start making money for you, it's good, right? And if it doesn't, it would keep your interest alive. So start any of these things. Also, fourth thing is social networking is really important, but as I mentioned it earlier, do it in time constraint. Take out a hour or two to interact with your friends, to be on the social media. Don't be a slave to social media, because you open Facebook and you open Instagram these days, it is loaded with entertaining videos and your friends doing stuff. So don't be a slave of social media, and you never know how much time you spend. You just keep browsing and keep going, and it wastes your time completely. If you go beyond an hour or two, if you are completely all the time on the social media, spending time there, it's just wasting some of your crucial time. The more time you invest in learning things, and that doesn't necessarily has to be technical knowledge or educational knowledge, be it anything, but make yourself aware that even if you are on social media, even if you are browsing on YouTube, try to learn something. Like, even if it could be photography, it could be anything, but make it your habit that you, whenever you go on these platforms, you learn something out of it. Next time is keep yourself entertained to take care of your mental health. The generation we are in, we tend to overthink even the smaller issues. And when we talk to, our elders and our parents, they sometimes don't understand it. That why we are sulking over the small issues. But that's the generation we are in. We do tend to overthink a lot. So keeping yourself entertained, keeping yourself away from overthinking about the negativities in your life would really help you a lot in your mental health. So keep yourself entertained. If sometimes you feel stressed, go watch a good movie, go play some game. Always divert your mind when you are feeling that point in life, when you start feeling depressed or alienated, or there is anything that is stressing you out. Go out and see things and meet people and keep yourself entertained. It really helps a lot. When you discuss things with people, you tend to know that this is not something big, it is happening with everyone. But when you keep things to yourself, you start feeling like, oh, it's happening with me and there's something wrong with me, and that's when it triggers your mental health. So keeping good care of your mental health is really important, because when you get into a job, the jobs are really they are not as easy as they used to be 5 years back. I'm constantly saying this because I've experienced it. They would, give you a lot of pressure while working. So it's better to be organized and to learn few things initially before even you're introduced to that sort of environment, corporate environment. It's good that you are aware what mental health is and how to take care of it. And the similar thing goes for your physical health as well. So take out some time, go out for a walk, at least 30 minutes a day. I would stress on it that you do this regularly, or at least 5 days a week. Take out time, at least 30 minutes to work out, to go on a walk, to do yoga, to do meditation. It could be anything that works best for you. But take out that time and do that, because like everything else, when you start working, there are few jobs that like if you are working in an organization that requires you to work into shifts, it does take a toll on your health. So if you are taking good care of your health and take good care of your immunity as well, because of this corona situation as well. But take good care of your health even when it's over, and work out or meditate at least for 30 minutes, for 5 days a week. That is really important. So here I finish my webinar. If you guys have any question right now, so you can ask it.
Yes,
Even
Saumya, yes, questions will be definitely there in the mind of all the attendees, and some have already written on this chat box. But before taking the questions, I would like to share something.
yes, sir.
You explained everything that is basic requirement for the job seekers, especially for the freshers. You explained all the things very nicely and with a very simple words. Everybody should be aware of all these things. This is my general perception, especially for the freshers. And I'm feeling so proud that you have become so mature in these 4 or 5 years. This is really great. You explained each and everything very simple manner. And one questions I can see in the chat box from Dr. SK Deshwal. He want to know about the artificial intelligence and how it works. Can you put something in this? How the artificial intelligence works?
Sure. So, artificial intelligence, it is nothing but we are over the time we are trying to create human intelligence in the form of machines, and sometimes there have been some projects in the past that it got triggered in a wrong way. But what we are trying to do is to incorporate human intelligence into machines. That's all artificial intelligence is. And how you do that, you constantly how human learns thing is through experience. And when you provide that experience in the form of data set to a machine, that becomes machine learning, and that generates the machine to have some experience of its own and to take decision on its own. So that is the art of artificial intelligence, as we said. So yeah, that's what artificial intelligence is, and there are multiple courses online if you want to dig deep in it and learn many things. And even in the BTech, I assume that in the curriculum we have this in the curriculum as well. So it's better to go on and learn it from a better source than me. So yeah, take courses in it if you want to dig deep in it, and it would be really helpful. And artificial intelligence and machine learning is the ultimate future of everything. Every company is working hard to go on that. So that's it. Also, just to tell everyone else, if you ever have, for those students who are not in this presentation right now and would be watching it later, you could connect with me on LinkedIn at any time. and I would also share my details, my email ID and contact number. I think that is on the uh, poster that Ayush made. I think those details are there. But anyways, I will share that as well with all of you. So if you have anything you want to discuss, or you need any help during your hiring process, you can surely connect to me. If I could not help you at that time, I could definitely redirect you to someone who could help you.
And one more thing is here, Soumya.
Yes, sir.
I cannot say this is a question, but
Mhm.
this may be a confusion. Mr.
Sure.
Sanjeev Kumar Ram Madhya is asking from Madhubani, oh, Bihar. मैम मेरा कोर्स बीटेक ब्रांच ईसीई है, सो
Okay.
लाइक अभी तक व्हाट आई
So
इसमें अभी तक जो
yes.
आपने इसमें बताया है, जो अभी आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन हुई है, आप भले
Mhm.
ही सीएस ब्रांच से हो, बट मोस्टली यू हैव कवर्ड द एरिया विच शुड बी जनरल फॉर ईच एंड एवरीवन, एज आई थिंक.
Yes, the how to target jobs and how to make your strategy to target those jobs, how to manage your time. It is general for everyone. The jobs which I have discussed, yes, are in IT industry, and what I have seen from my experience is the student from ECE branch and some of the mechanical branch student
Yes,
as well.
yes.
When it comes to placement, they tend to go and make a career in IT industry because there are lesser core jobs for other branch as there are in IT. So a large percentage of students go out and look for the IT jobs even when they are from other branches. So if you are looking for jobs that are core to your branch, I would suggest you to do some research, and you would easily get the trending jobs of your branch as well. But these are the jobs that I discussed. These are mainly in IT industry, and I think a lot of students from EC branch applies to these kind of job, and they make a great career out of it.
And you talked about C, C++, that and these languages are even equally important for all the branches. ECE,
Yeah, this
mechanical,
is.
civil. Yes, yes.
Yeah, there was a reason why these, C is taught to everyone when they are
Yes,
in the
yes.
first year of their BTech, and it makes sense when you start working. You realize what is the importance of these things. So yes, that's why you are made to learn these things. And if you are trying to make a career in IT industry, then you would have to learn this any of the programming language. Even when you apply for a job and when the employer knows that your core branch is not computer science or IT, then they have much lesser expectation from you as compared to those students they who are from the CS and IT branch. They have much less experience for you, and they will offer you much easier questions in the interview. But yes, you would have to get basic knowledge of these technologies.
So I think no more questions in the chat box. Ayush, please say something in the last. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So conclude the session.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine. So I would like to share one more thing, Soumya,
Yes,
that
sir.
one of the participant wrote in the feedback that you use less number of time and spend more number of things.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I tried to do. I didn't want to bore you guys with a lot of with a lot of written paragraphs and all. So that's why I wrote everything in the shortest points I could, so you don't get bored and take the maximum output for yourself.
Yeah. I will be sharing with you, Soumya, the feedback of the participants, and in case
Sure,
they will,
sure.
they can ask you through email or through LinkedIn.
Yes, you could, and I would share my details on the chat as well. So if you ever want to connect with me, you can connect me there. I might not, I don't take up much calls because there are, the spam calls. There are so many spam calls that we tend to take lesser
You
amount of calls from unknown number.
you can write down your email ID for me.
Yes, yes, that I'm sharing, and I'm
Yes.
available by the name of Saumya Sinha on LinkedIn as well. So, feel free to connect over there. And I would definitely try to take up any of your query. And if I could not help, as I said, I would definitely redirect you to someone who could help you in a better way than I can.
Well, on behalf of MIT, once again, I thank you, Soumya, being the alumnus of MIT, that you took some time to enlighten us on such a vast topic and you explained it in a very short way. And this
Thank
session
you,
will
sir.
definitely
Thank you for
benefit
the
the young
opportunity.
generations coming forth.
It was my pleasure to, help anyone with any sort of knowledge that I have already. So
On
thank
such a
you,
short
everyone.
notice, you accepted the invitation and came with full-fledged preparation. Good to see.
Thank
So
you,
thank
sir.
you so much, Ramya, and take care
Thank you.
and see you again. And
Sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining
thanks
this
to
webinar as
all the
well.
Thank,
attendees.
thank you all the attendees for attending the function, all the sections regularly. Just got the list of the participants. I saw majority of the student participants who are coming regularly to watch these sections.
Yes, yes. So take care, everyone, and see you again
Thank you.
in the next series.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Soumya.
everyone. Stay safe. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya.